Hey, and welcome back to Soul Podcasting, where we blend soulful storytelling with smart strategy to help you build lasting impact and legacy through podcasting. And I'm your host, Demetria Zinga, podcast coach and founder of the Soul Podcasting Collective, which is a boutique agency that supports visionary creators, founders, and CEOs in launching and growing podcasts that align with their purpose and not just the algorithm. So today we're talking about a message we really need to normalize in this fast-paced content world, and that is visibility. Now, visibility doesn't mean going viral. It means staying relevant. And yes, I'm going to say the thing nobody else wants to say. Chasing virality can actually distract you from building something meaningful. So if you've been caught in this, I need more likes, I need more views, I need more everything, that sucks you downhill really quickly, then this episode is going to bring you back to what really matters. Real quick, if you're planning to launch your podcast and still haven't done that yet, or you need to relaunch your show with more clarity and more alignment, I've got something for you. It is my Launch Confidently podcasting checklist. It's your go-to roadmap for launching without all the guesswork. So anything from content prep to back-end setup, it kind of walks you through every step so you can feel confident and not chaotic. The link to that is in the show notes. All right, let's take a pause. My friend, you've been doing a lot this week. All right, so let's shift from your hustle, your grind, to alignment. You're in your creative CEO time now, which is a space where your voice matters, your message leads, and that algorithm is not the boss of you. So we're going to get into the CEO time. Sit back, relax, get your favorite drink, and let's get into it. My friend, let's have a grown-up legacy building moment right here and right now, because we live in a world obsessed with fast visibility. We are thinking of how to get our next reel out, how to trend our audios, and we want that overnight success story. These are the things that gets pushed into our feeds every single day. But I'm going to be clear with you. I don't believe that going viral is what you need. And I don't think that it means you're building something sustainable just because it's viral. I have had quite a few things that went semi-viral as far as my videos years ago. And today is my brand, that particular brand, which was my homeschool brand. Is it viral worthy today? No, I don't think so. Did I receive massive impact and growth from those videos? I would say I had short-term growth, but some of those viral videos were just that. They were viral and they didn't always reach the people they were supposed to, right? So what I believe is that visibility that matters is the kind that makes you top of mind and trusted in your niche. You want long-term visibility, not just a quick overnight viral short or clip. Virality is a spike, but what you want is relevance. Relevance is a rhythm. So when you're relevant, people return to your voice again and again, not just for one entertaining clip, but for the value that you constantly deliver over and over again. Now let's think about it this way. Would you rather go viral once and then be completely forgotten? Or would you rather your voice be the one that your audience listens to every week because they trust you to show up with something meaningful? So that is what we want to focus on, making sure we're showing up with meaning and with purpose. Number 2, your visibility equals connection, not clout. Real visibility is when your audience knows your name. They know your values, they know your vibe, and they tell other people about you without you even asking. A couple of episodes back, I interviewed Dave Campbell. He is an awesome guest, and I really just appreciate the way he honors every single host and guest that's a part of his network. Whether you're on his show or he's on your show, he's just awesome like that. And one of the things he mentioned is that just by listening to a couple of my shows, he already knew not only my name, of course, but my values, my vibe, what I'm about, my background, my story. And he was able to tell me, like, I know that you are a former homeschool mom. I know that you have faith-based content. I know a little bit about who you are and what you bring to the table as a podcaster, and that you've been doing this for 20 years and that kind of thing. So he was able to share my story back to me. And that helped me to see that, okay, I am giving my story, my background, which is hopefully helping you guys connect with me on a more personal level rather than just me being a voice out here sharing yet another stat about podcasting. There's so much out here about podcasting nowadays, and more people are starting shows about podcasting. But when I can differentiate my platform and my position here by just sharing who I am and what makes me tick and why podcasting is so special for me, it gives me leverage that I wouldn't have if I just simply fired up my microphone and rattled off some statistics and some numbers and gave you the news of podcasting today, because that's not my purpose of showing up every single week, sharing podcasting with you. I really want to make a connection with you, and I really want to share how special podcasting has been for me and how I'm passionate about helping you to also launch your podcast if you haven't already, or to keep going with your vision and purpose in podcasting if it's something that you desire to do. So this to me is what real visibility is about. It's when your audience understands you on a personal level, and then they tell other people about you and about your show and about what you're doing without you even asking. That is going viral in a really authentic way. So you don't need millions of views to have an impact, but you do need consistent connection with the right people. That's where your podcast becomes a vehicle. It's not flashy, it's just steady. It's powerful, and it's what I like to call soulful. One of the reasons I love podcasting and why I've used it to support every brand that I've built, almost every brand, over the past 15, 20 years is because I think your episodes tend to live on and on. They show up in search, then they're shared, and then they grow your audience over time. All the shows that I've been able to create, and I'll just name 4 of the 8. So the Christian Homeschool Moms, Mompreneurs in Heels, Her Business Elevated, and now Soul Podcasting Podcast. Each of these shows has helped me to build visibility that lasts, not by being viral. They don't get massive viral power. They are not going by any means going viral on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts. I'm using all of these platforms, of course, and social media to help market my shows and tell people about what I do, but I don't expect to receive thousands and hundreds of thousands of clicks overnight. My thing is that I want to make sure I'm being consistent, relevant, and useful to my audience, and a force in their life that is helping them to get to their next level in whatever it is. So in my homeschool podcast, I want to help homeschool moms to get to that next level in their homeschooling, inspiring them that they can keep going and doing the thing that they feel called to do with their families. With Mompreneurs in Heels, I was helping mamas who wanted to start their businesses and helping them to figure out ways they can do that virtually without having to leave their post and stay home with their kids while working and building a business. With Her Business Elevated, my goal was to help business women become CEO minded and to level up, to grow their business from something scrappy and small and organic to something that makes massive impact, building those connections, creating platforms that make a difference and that resonate with their audience. And so with each of those shows, I had a purpose. And now for Soul Podcasting, it's very similar to my purpose in all the other shows, but only the focus is on helping podcasters to be better at what you do, to show up with your authentic self, to have a lot of soul in what you do and not pretend, not display something other than what you are, to be yourself, to be free, to explore different parts of you in your podcasting and show up just the way you are. You don't have to be perfect. It's great to have good value with your audio and your video, but you don't have to be perfect, and you don't need to show up the way someone else is showing up. You just show up the way you do. And that makes you special. That makes you unique. And there are people out there who want to hear you just the way you are. So that's my goal at Soul Podcasting, is to help podcasters, right? And so that leads me to my next point, which is that staying relevant requires knowing who exactly you're talking to. So if you're trying to speak to everyone, once again, you're staying invisible to everyone, because relevance comes from understanding your audience and leading them, not just entertaining them. Don't think of yourself as an entertainer. Think of yourself as a CEO, a leader, someone who is a guide, a light post, the one who holds the torch, who helps lead the way and guide the way to where your listener is trying to go. You're lighting that path for them. So when your content serves real people with real problems, real goals, those people, they keep coming back to you. And that's the visibility that actually converts. Sustainable visibility fuels legacy, not just your likes. At Soul Podcasting Collective, we don't just launch shows. We build soul-aligned visibility platforms for thought leaders and brand builders who want to last. Legacy doesn't come from trends. It comes from consistent relevance. And if that means that your show grows slowly, but it grows powerfully, guess what? That's exactly the kind of growth that builds empires. So be okay with slow growth. Be okay with taking a year or two to really dip your toes in the waters of what this podcasting thing is about. And remember that just because someone else is getting those overnight 10,000 downloads doesn't mean that that is reasonable for what you're doing, for your niche, for the type of audience that you want to reach. And nor should you desire it, because honestly speaking, you want to build those connections. And it takes time to build relationships, to form a deep and more meaningful connection with your listener. So just because you get the download doesn't mean that you're building a relationship. When you start getting those repeat downloads and those repeat listens, that's when the relationship begins to build. So if you're ready to launch your show or improve your show in a way that actually supports your brand and your voice, again, download that Launch Confidently Podcasting Checklist. It's the guide that I wish I had when I first started, way back when. So it's zero fluff, all strategy, links in the show notes. Go grab it. And let's talk very quickly about the state of podcasting in 2025, because staying relevant means staying informed. So I was taking a look again at Podnews and the 2025 report card, and industry experts agree on one major theme: that podcasting is maturing, but it's also shifting really quickly. This report shows that while audiences continue to grow, listener expectations are rising. They want better production quality, they want more authenticity, and they want shows that deliver real value and not just a bunch of fluff. So I found this really interesting, considering as an agency, we help with that production quality, but also I like to tell newbie podcasters, especially when you're just starting out, don't worry so much about the quality, because it's really more or less about that content. You do want to present the content as nicely as you can, but you don't want to overextend yourself or overthink the audio quality. In terms of trends, it looks like this is one of the tipping points for listeners. And what's also interesting is that creators with niche, consistent shows are outperforming the big name brands in engagement and loyalty, which is exactly what we were talking about earlier, is that they might have that quick spike in their downloads because they are a big brand, but it doesn't mean that they have loyalty, right? So you want the engagement with people that really adore what you do. Also, what's interesting is that podcast SEO and searchability matter now more than ever. So if your show isn't optimized for discoverability, you're already behind. So go ahead and start looking into how you can optimize your keywords for your titles, your show notes, your description, everything. So any piece of content you put out, optimize it the best you can. If you have any concerns or questions about how to optimize, there's plenty of information out there about it, but you can also check back in my archives, episode 49, podcast SEO basics you can do in under 15 minutes. And I will be sure to leave a link to that in the show notes. And get this, the most trusted voices in the space are not necessarily the loudest voices, but they are the most consistent ones. So let's translate this to what this means for you. That means it's your time to shine, my friend, especially if you're building a purpose-driven podcast with heart, with voice and strategy. So that's what we do here at Soul Podcasting Collective. We're all about helping you meet this moment with sound that's polished and stories that connect and content that really cuts through the noise. And as always, big love to my Christian Women Podcasters Network as well. If you're a member and want to be featured here, slide into my inbox. You can find that info in the show notes, but I'm on Instagram at Soul Podcasting, and we love spotlighting purpose-filled voices. So if you're part of that network or want to join that network, I'd love to have you. All right, Soul Fam, If this resonated with you and you're done chasing those viral moments in favor of meaningful visibility, I would love to connect with you. We support entrepreneurs and creatives just like you who want to amplify your voice with clarity, soul, and strategy. So again, visit us at soulpodcasting.com to learn more or hang out with me on Instagram at soulpodcasting. And remember, you don't need to go viral, my friend. You just have to stay relevant. Stay soulful, stay visible, and keep showing up with intention. Happy podcasting.